Hey guys, it's Dean. Welcome to ManFlow Yoga. Today's ManFlow Mini. We're going to start focusing on your hands and wrists for the next few days. And today we're going to get started with a face to palm stretch, or basically your palm facing your body. You can do this in any position you want. You can be sitting, kneeling, or standing. So what you're going to do, bring the arms straight out in front of you, palms facing your body, grab the back of your hand, and then lightly pull your hand toward your face while pressing the wrist away. So we're just doing stretch with your palm facing you, the back of your hand facing away, just like this. Now you can also, if you want to increase the intensity, you can take this down to the ground into a tabletop position and then push like so. And now I've got a little bit more intensity here. If your wrists are in pain from this though, we've got the other variation, which is less intense. As you're doing this, make sure your fingers are spread really wide. That's a theme that we're going to focus on this week. Whenever you're stretching your wrist, spread your fingers really wide, thumbs reaching away from your index fingers as far as possible, and lightly pushing the backs of your hands into the ground. Maybe moving a little bit here, kind of up and down like so. Maybe turning from side to side. And this is great. This counters the position that we tend to be in during the day, right? So when we text, we usually have our fingers up like this when we're typing. We're doing this, but we don't very often do this. So this is a great counter, great stretch. Very popular with gymnasts. So if you've ever seen gymnasts warming up, they would do lots of stretching like this. And people can even balance and do difficult arm balances with their hands like this and all of their body weight on. So it's a cool exercise to start working on your wrist mobility. All right, guys, that's it for today. I'll see you tomorrow for the next ManFlow Mini. Hey guys, it's Dean. Welcome to ManFlow Yoga, and we are doing another wrist stretch for today, this time with your palms facing away from you. So if you want to stand and do it, what this is going to look like, turn your palms to face away from you, fingers reaching down, grab your palm or your fingers and just pull your fingers back toward you. So palm facing away, fingers facing down, just like so, and then pulling your fingers toward you. Now if you want to add in a little bit more to this, you take this down to the ground, put your hand on the ground, fingers facing you, your palms facing down. Do both hands at once, and then just lightly lean back, like so. Fingers are still spread wide, and you want to keep the base of your wrist on the ground. So don't let your wrist come away from the ground, but try to keep that the base of your wrist, the base of your palm pressing down, and then just lightly leaning back here. And then from here, you can also do some twist, kind of turning from side to side, working on the mobility of your wrist, so working on the actual wrist, the joints themselves, as opposed to just the muscles, just the forearms that make up the wrist. And you can spend about a minute, 90 seconds, or even up to 2 minutes here in this position, stretching your wrist. And this is great to do before any workout. This is great to do before a yoga workout. It's almost necessary before any workout that involves upper body work, such as a handstand or a crow pose. Definitely need to make sure you're taking care of the wrist in those exercises. All right, there's your ManFlow Mini for the day. Some wrist stretching. I'll see you tomorrow for the next one. Take care. Hey guys, it's Dean. Welcome to ManFlow Yoga. Here's what we're going to be doing. So I'm going to have you on your hands and knees, and we're going to be doing some palms up push-ups. So typically push-ups, our palms are down like so, right? We're doing this. Instead, we are going to have the palms up, fingers facing one another. Now, to start off, you're going to have just one hand like this. The other hand is going to be in a normal push-up position. Bring your knees closer to your hands to take more of the weight out of your hands and put them into your hips. And then start with your fist with the left hand. Now as you descend, as you come down, you're going to open up your hand, press the back of your left hand into the ground, keep your good form with your right hand so the elbow squeezes in and the arm wraps in, and then push back up with a combination of the back of your hand strength, your forearm strength, and your other hand. So we're just going to do a few of those. Right, and we're using the knees pretty close to the hips to take some of the pressure out of your upper body, so it's not as much weight, so you can build up to doing this. And then we do the other side. So spread the fingers, left hand down, right fist down now, going down, pushing into the hand, coming back up. Left elbow is squeezing in. If you want to increase the difficulty, you can move your knees back a little bit more and start using your core a little bit to take the weight out of your hips. Start putting that into your upper body instead. All right, now, next variation. This is level 3, or level 2, I guess. We're going to start with your knees in pretty close, fist down, lowering down, spread the fingers wide, back your hands on the ground, push, and squeeze your palms together. Squeeze your fingers into your palms. And again, so maybe 3 or 4 of these, maybe 5, and then moving your knees further away from your hands to increase the difficulty. So this is getting a little bit hard for me now. And again, you want to avoid pain in your wrist. You should focus on using your forearm strength to do this properly. All right. So those are your exercises for the day. Push-ups with your palms facing up. Thanks for being members. Thanks for being part of the Manflow Yoga community. And I'll see you tomorrow for the next Manflow Mini. Hey guys, it's Dean. Welcome to Manflow Yoga. And I'm going to show you some radial and ulnar deviation for your wrist. So we know that your hands move up and down, right? Your wrist moves like this, it extends, and it flexes. But you might not know that it also moves from side to side. So today we're going to be focusing on ulnar deviation, which is when the thumb moves away from the inside of your hand, moves away from the thumb side, or the inside of your wrist, and radial deviation, when the hand moves away from the outside of the wrist. So for this, I'm going to have you just stick your arms straight out, and we're going to work both sides at the time, or maybe you might just want to do one. So we'll start with ulnar deviation. So you're going to move your fingers out to the side without moving your elbows, without moving your wrist. So the only thing that's changing is your hands, right? Bringing it out like that. And then moving from there to radial deviation, we're going to bring the thumbs in toward one another without changing your elbows, without changing the wrist. So I'm not coming like this to do this. I'm just squeezing the thumbs in, keeping my forearms the same. And then again, coming out into ulnar deviation, squeezing the fingers out to the outside, not letting my wrist change. And then again, bringing back toward the inside, keeping the forearms stable. Let's do one more. Coming out, fingers reaching out, forearms stay the same, and then coming in, thumbs reaching in, elbows staying the same. All right, and then release. All right, hope you learned something new today. Hope you're going to work on your wrists with that. We need to make sure that our wrists are going through their natural range of motion, and that includes up and down and side to side. So make sure to do that on a regular basis. All right, guys, thanks for watching. Thank you for being members, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Hey guys, it's Dean. Welcome to Manflow Yoga, and we are going to continue our wrist work today. So today is wrist and elbow circles. So we're going to start out with your hands at your sides, just making some circles with your wrist. So go one direction. So right now I'm going with my wrist turning in, and I'm going to do about 30 seconds here like this. And then I'm going to switch directions. So now turn the other direction, circles the other way. And the reason why we're doing this is to help with the joints themselves. So joint health happens from a combination of stretching, but also joint movement. So making circles with your wrist, making circles with your shoulders helps with keeping space in the joint capsules. So in this case, in your wrist. All right, and then we're going to make elbow circles. So now, let's say coming in to start. Try to keep your elbows immobile, so you can keep your shoulder blades pinned in, kind of elbows at your sides, just making some circles with your hands like so. Going in big circles with the elbows. We're going in one direction, maybe about 30 seconds here, and then switching. So now coming out. And again, notice my elbows are kind of staying in place. I'm not moving my elbows. I'm not going like all over the place like this. I'm just keeping the elbows in tight so I can move the joints themselves. So we're going to do about 30 seconds there as well. And this just helps to loosen up your forearms, loosen up your wrist. Great for before activity. especially if you're using your forearms or your wrist. All right, cool. And then relax. So there's your Man Flow Mini for the day. Some elbow and wrist circles. Hope you enjoyed that. Make sure to do it on a regular basis and keep up the joint health of your arms. You'll need it. All right, guys, I'll see you tomorrow for the next Man Flow Mini. Thank you for being part of the Man Flow Yoga community. Hey guys, it's Dean. Good morning, and we are going to be doing proper forearm engagement today. So for this, we don't even need a wall. You can do this standing, no equipment required. What I'm going to have you do is bring your arms straight out in front of you, like you were doing a push-up. Spread your fingers really wide, and then flex or extend your fingers back toward your face. So trying to squeeze your middle finger, your index finger, your thumb, ring, pinky finger, reaching that intensely back toward your face and engaging your forearms. Now from here, a little bit of an external rotation, so your index fingers face slightly up and out, and your biceps start to turn up, and the fingers still reaching back. So this is proper forearm engagement. We want to feel the forearms really engaged here to reach the fingers back, to extend the fingers spread wide, and flexing your forearms. So trying to reach the fingers away from one another, really intensely reaching the fingers back toward your face. Try to get them closer and closer. And then release. So, wow, that's intense. And now you're going to apply that to any push-up, any plank that you do. So again, we want to be able to hold your fingers back toward your face in that 90-degree angle, because when you go down onto the ground, right, and do a plank, you shouldn't have to rely on the ground to force your wrist in that position. You should already have the mobility or the control there to be able to place your wrist down and hold that engagement without the assistance of leaning forward. So that's what's going to help you prevent wrist pain, is having that mobility instead of getting down to the mat and then leaning forward and just using the mat to get you there. So we want to develop that mobility, that control, that controlled flexibility to be able to have your hands in that 90-degree position with the wrist. All right, so that's something to work on. You can spend a couple minutes on that. It's a great exercise. It's a great warm-up. It's a great standalone exercise if you're at work and you just want to break up the day a little bit. And yeah, so thanks for joining me for today's Man Flow Mini. I'll see you tomorrow for the next one. Thanks for being part of the Man Flow Yoga community. Hey guys, it's Dean, and we are going to be talking about fingers today. So we're going to be working on finger extension and flexion. So basically extending your fingers, making them as big and as wide as possible, and then making the fist. So just stand in a nice neutral position, or if you're at your desk, you can totally do this while sitting. And we're going to work on extending your fingers as much as you can. So reaching your thumbs away from the index finger, spreading the pinky away from the ring finger, trying to make your hands as big as possible. Stretching, 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 squeezing, maybe about 10 seconds, 15 seconds here, and then squeezing in and making fist, digging your fingernails into your palms, making tight fist as much as you can. Squeeze, 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 and then extending once more. So fingers reaching away from one another, thumbs reaching away from the index fingers, fingers spreading wide, feeling the fascia in your fingers, in your palms starting to stretch. That is our goal here, working on finger strength and mobility. Really getting wider, 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 squeezing the fingers wider, and then again, bringing it in and flexing, bringing your fingernails into your palms, tightening your hands, squeezing, 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 and then release. So you can do that a few more times if you want, but that is your Man Flow Mini for the day, working on finger mobility, working on hand strength and mobility. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow for the next Man Flow Mini. Take care. Thanks for joining me for this workout today. Make sure you subscribe. We put out lots of videos like this on a very regular basis. And to get full access to all of my workouts, my programs, tutorials, and more, head to manflowyoga.com, sign up for a 7-day trial. It's just $1. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you on the next video.